This is an important information to all who are supporting Donald Trump and those who are against Donald Trump. I want to let you know that court has given order for the release of Epstein file. You know that Epstein file contains a lot according to Americans, and Americans want to use this Epstein file to work against Donald Trump. Honestly, that is the main fact, because it was found that Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein were good friends. They party together. In fact, they are good friends. So they think that as far as Epstein did something illegal, that Donald Trump might be involved. Now, court has ordered for the release of Epstein file, and Americans are jubilating because they may feel that something against Donald Trump will be in that file. So make sure you watch this video from the beginning to the very end to know more about Epstein and his file. When we come back, we discuss. Enjoy this clip.
Breaking news for you now. A court has just ordered the release of Jeffrey Epstein's alleged suicide note. This is an alleged suicide note, not from his actual quote-unquote suicide, but from an attempted suicide from before the one where he died. CNN's Caitlin Polance is in the newsroom with details. Caitlin, tell us more.
Jake, one of the most sought-after documents that you could imagine in the situation around Jeffrey Epstein, and a moment of transparency. This is an apparent reported suicide note. Now, there isn't a full authentication of this, and just this document has been unsealed by a judge in the case of the man who was in a cell with him in July of 2029. This note, it apparently says, and I'll read it because it is very hard to read the handwriting there, and some of these translations that we're making from the words may not be exact given how difficult it is to read his handwriting. But Jake, it says, they investigated me for months, found nothing. So 15 or 16-year-old charges resurrected. It is a treat to be able to choose one's time to say goodbye. What you want me to do? Burst out crying. No fun, not worth it. So this is a note that reportedly was discovered by the cellmate of Jeffrey Epstein after his arrest in 2019, and it was discovered in July of 2019, a time when he had apparently made a suicide attempt in jail and survived it, but then several weeks later killed himself. There have been so many investigations around Epstein, and the Justice Department has been looking to release so many documents. This one, though, was tied up in the case of his cellmate, and it now has been released at the petitioning of the New York Times.
All right, Caitlin Polance, thank you so much. With us now to discuss one of the Democratic members of the House Oversight Committee, which is investigating Epstein, Virginia Representative Congressman James Walkinshaw. Congressman, your reaction to the breaking news?
Well, look, I think it's going to raise new questions of the circumstances around Epstein's suicide. One of the frustrating things is that in 2023, the IG did a report investigating those circumstances, determined they felt it was a suicide. This note wasn't even part of that investigation. So I think it's going to add to some of the theories that are out there that it wasn't really fully investigated.
How confident are you that Epstein committed suicide, that his death was by suicide?
I think that is the most logical outcome, but I'm not 100% confident. I mean, I think we have real questions that still need to be answered. We're going to have Tova Noel, one of the prison guards, before our committee next week, and we're going to have some tough questions about large cash deposits that she made in the weeks before his death. And there's been reporting that Epstein was paying protection payments to folks in the prison. I think there's still a lot of questions that need to be answered.
So speaking of tough questions, Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnik was on Capitol Hill today to talk to the House Oversight Committee about his relationship with Epstein. Your fellow Democrat, Congressman Ro Khanna, called Lutnik's testimony contortions and lies. What do you think?
Well, look, here's what we know. Secretary Lutnik went on a podcast and said that he visited Epstein's townhouse once with his wife, and he was so disgusted by Epstein.
This is like he said, 2005, 2006.
That's right. He pledged, I'm never going to be in a room with that guy again. When the files were released, we learned he was in a room with that guy with Epstein multiple times. And when he was asked about that today, rather than fessing up to it and saying that he misspoke or, in my view, lied, he dissembled. He tried to argue about the definition of the word I. He said he meant that he wouldn't be in a room himself one-on-one with Epstein again. Apparently he was okay being in a room with Epstein and Lutnik's wife and family.
And his wife and family.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Strange thing. He was so grossed out, he didn't want to be in a room one-on-one with
But
Epstein.
his kids are fine.
He would bring his kids.
Yeah, it's weird.
Doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. Unlike other witnesses before the committee, Lutnik's testimony was not videotaped. Why not?
I think it's part of the ongoing cover-up, right? And I'll never say the cover-up is worse than the crime here, because these Epstein crimes are horrific. But there's been a concerted effort by the administration and the Republican allies in Congress to keep the American people from seeing this. American people deserve to see Secretary Lutnik struggle to answer these basic questions. They deserve to see the painfully odd, awkward, and weird responses he gave.
And you guys asked him about his previous comments that Epstein had engaged in blackmailing and videotapes?
That's right. We asked him what evidence he had for that. He said it was just his speculation at the time. He's since changed his mind about that, having heard from officials in the Trump administration who don't believe Epstein blackmailed anyone.
Your Democratic Virginia colleague, Congressman Subramanyam, called for Lutnik to resign. Do you agree?
I do. Look, I think it's a breach of trust. And I know this is an old-fashioned view. I don't think a cabinet secretary should just flat out lie to the American people in the way that he did. If he had come in today and shown some remorse for that, some contrition for it, I might feel differently. But that's kind of the way of this administration. You know, lies are a currency in the Trump administration, and I don't think they should continue to get away with it.
Files released by the Justice Department earlier this year included this picture of Lutnik on Epstein's private island back in 2012, years after Lutnik claimed to have cut him off, acknowledging in his own words that Epstein was a, quote, serial sex offender. Oversight Chairman James Comer spoke about that moments ago.
I mean, I feel like that Lutnik's been very transparent. He came in voluntarily. I said before this thing started, the only thing that I had seen that Lutnik did wrong wasn't 100% truthful on the brief visit to the island with his family. He corrected that in his opening statement, and you know, we'll see. We'll continue our investigation, and if we find that there were any misstatements by Lutnik, it's a felony to lie to Congress, and he'll be held accountable.
We should note Lutnik has not been accused of any wrongdoing. Let's get some perspective now with Democratic Congressman of Virginia, Subramanyam, a member of the Oversight Committee. Congressman, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.
First, what did you learn from the Commerce Secretary?
I mean, he doubled down on the dishonesty. He said, yes, I met with him in 2005 with my wife. I went to his home. And then after that, I didn't meet with him in the same room again. Yeah, he was in the same room with him twice. He went to his island. He brought his family to the island. And so he was contradicting himself. He was nervous. He was evasive. He said that he didn't know why he went to the island. He doesn't remember why he went to the island in the first place. And so if we hadn't found those emails showing that he'd been to the island, if we hadn't found those pictures, I don't think he would have ever told us that he went to the island. He was very evasive. I think he needs to resign.
Do you have evidence that would disqualify him as Commerce Secretary? Evidence of wrongdoing?
I think being dishonest with Congress is wrongdoing, and that is disqualifying in and of itself. He clearly lied to the American people on that podcast he did, where he said he never saw Howard Lutnik, where he never saw Jeffrey Epstein ever again, and yet he admitted that he saw him twice afterwards. He doubled down on that today. He said, once again, I wasn't in the same room as him, but being in the same room with someone, even if there's other people in there, is the same thing. And so he was trying to redefine the word I to at different points. It was a very confusing interview and certainly disqualifying in my mind.
So your response to Chairman Comer that we just heard there is that there should be further steps taken.
Oh, I think so. I think he was dishonest with us. The reality is we gave him a chance to say, okay, I misspoke before, or I lied before. I was, exaggerating because I was on a podcast. But he didn't say that. Instead, he doubled down saying that what he said was true. He doubled down on saying that he never saw Jeffrey Epstein ever again. But then he admitted he saw him 2 more times. And he even went to the island, and he doesn't remember why he went to the island.
Just to be clear, he did not say today in front of Congress that he didn't see Jeffrey Epstein after 2005, right?
He said that, yes, I saw him 2 more times, but I was never in the same room with him. I, Howard Lutnik, didn't put myself in the situation to be in the same room with him, which was really confusing, right? Because he was in the same room with him.
It's odd because he's on this person's private island.
Yes. And we asked him, why did you go to the private island if you thought he was disgusting or gross? And he says he doesn't remember. He doesn't remember why he brought his children and his wife and his friends to the island when he visited the island.
You'd mentioned that podcast in which he'd described some of his relations with Epstein. This was from 2025 as a New York Post podcast. And he said that in 2005, Epstein showed him and his wife a massage room in his Manhattan townhouse, also making a suggestive comment to them. Epstein did. Lutnik said to the podcast, quote, that's what his MO was, get a massage, get a massage. And what happened in that room, I assume, was on video. This guy was the greatest blackmailer ever. Blackmail people, that's how he made his money. Lutnik said later in the podcast that he had no knowledge of a trade for these videos, that this is his assumption. I wonder what evidence you may have seen, what Lutnik said about this, but what evidence you may have seen that Epstein profited from having dirt on powerful people.
We asked Lutnik about this, why he would say that, and he says he was simply on a podcast speculating. He called everything else in that podcast speculation. And so we asked him, what was the speculation based on? And he said, just based on things that I'd heard. And so we asked whether he still thinks that blackmail was involved with Jeffrey Epstein blackmailing other people. He said, no, I don't think that anymore. And we said, why? It's because the administration says it's not blackmail anymore. So he's clearly getting talking points from the administration on what to be saying at this point. He was very well coached, I will say, but then when we kept pressing him, that's when he got nervous, he got evasive, and he started trying to redefine the word I. And so it was a very, very confusing interview and dishonest in my mind.
So this was not taped. How do you think that impacts how the American people are going to receive this? Because they effectively have to take your word over the word of Chairman Comer, who's saying that he clarified the misstatements in the past and whatnot. How do you think the public is set to receive that?
I now understand why Republicans didn't want this taped, because if the president himself had seen this, he would want Howard Lutnik out. He looked awful. I mean, he just kept spinning himself in circles. He just didn't know what to say at certain points, except that he couldn't remember. And so it was very embarrassing. I understand why now, but the American people deserve the transparency. House Republicans continue to try to get in the way of actually doing a real investigation. This is one example, not taping this investigation.
Before we go, Congressman, with a very short amount of time, you're set to hear from former Attorney General Pam Bondi at the end of the month. What do you plan to ask her?
Well, first of all, we want that taped. We want that on the record. We want her being sworn in because that's what the subpoena said. But the reality is she has a lot of questions to answer about why there's so many files withheld right now, 2.5 million files, and what her conversations with the president were like to lead to the decision not to release the files in the first place.
I want to ask you a simple question. If Americans find out that there is something fishy, something illegal in Jeffrey Epstein file against Donald Trump, what are they going to do? Will they be able to impeach Donald Trump? Will they be able to do something that will affect Donald Trump? Because the way I am seeing things, nobody can remove Donald Trump because Donald Trump is a very strong man. I believe that Donald Trump might not be involved with Epstein's atrocities. You can be friend to somebody, but you can't be involved in his or her activities. So it is possible Donald Trump can be a friend to Jeffrey Epstein, but he may not be involved in his activities. That one is for sure. That someone is your friend does not mean that anything that person did, that you are involved. So it is possible that Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump are good friends, but their activities are different. That is it. So what do you have to say? Drop your opinions in the comment section so that others will learn. I hope you get value from watching this video. Thank you for watching. For more news and updates like this, do not forget to subscribe on this channel because it is very important. If you subscribe, anytime I publish the next video, YouTube will push my video to you so that you will know the latest updates ongoing. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate your time. Bye.